we are talking about making talent strategic, and I guess the first in any discussion about talent, we just need to define it a little bit. So, what I've done actually is to put just to kind of research a little bit what's out there, and this is a lady called Lucy Calloway. She's a very caustic Financial Times correspondent who hates management jargon and management, lingo and all that kind of thing. So I've taken a clip from her and see how you respond to it. Can we just play the clip first, please?
Why this little word is so effective, apart from being delightfully unfashionable, is that one is rather inclined to believe it. It makes me think, yeah, maybe RBS does employ a lot of good people. Even better, he calls his people people. He doesn't call them talent, which is one of the most pernicious terms in management. If you look up talent in a dictionary, you'll find it means a special natural ability. So, by definition, most people don't have it.
Okay. So, how many talented people do you have in your organization? Dr. Jawal.
I guess, let me start with the definition. We are talking about talent, there's technical talent and there's a management or leadership, right? So we're, in the context of perhaps our discussion is the leadership talent. To answer the question, it's about 5% of the population.
Of your total workforce?
Of the total workforce, yeah.
Okay. And that's interesting because if I notice, may Darkisani, could you stand up, please? You're the chief group human resources for Axiata. But interestingly, next door to him, we have Datin Badrunisa, who is the chief talent officer for Axiata, right? So what's the difference between is that the 5%? And that's the 95%?
First, they're invited to the session to clap their hands for me. Whenever I say something wrong, they still clap their hands, right? I guess it's more of Axiata unique. It's not a general prescription that he has to be separated, right? We did a bit of research before we decided to split and to have both HR and talent, chief talent officer reporting to me directly. In our case, I guess it's more of we're trying to do things that people do in 20, 30, 40 years. Axiata is just a 4-year-old company. We have this huge, bold ambition by 2015 to be a regional champion. And if I work backward, there's no way on earth I could achieve that if I don't accelerate things a lot faster. And I can vouch that no single human being can do what we want to do, given the kind of thing we want to do. So the only way to split. Now, of course, the related reason is that talent itself, there's so much work and focus, both at the board level, my level, and of course at the management level. So again, trying to do so many things and trying to build a talent. We have this vision to become known as a talent factory, and to be known, a company to be known as the best applied university in this region. So to do all of that, we need to make sure we are very focused, and hence the split of functions between talent and HR.
Okay. All right. Sarah,
yeah.
What about you? How do you define talent, and how many % of that of your McDonald's team here in Malaysia?
Well, McDonald's Malaysia, we have 222 restaurants today. We employ 12,000 Malaysians here in Malaysia. And I'm sorry, what was the woman's name?
Her name was Lucy Calloway.
So Lucy apparently has never tried to work a fry station during peak. All right? As far as we're concerned, everyone has talent. It's just not everyone is cut out to be a manager or a director or the MD of the company. But it takes talent to work a fry station or a prep line during peak hour in a McDonald's. So it's about appreciating and learning to appreciate what each person's value is and then bring out the best in them.
You could call it skill. Why talent? It's a skill. It's a very skilled job, but is it talent?
I've tried to work a fry station at peak. It's talent. It's talent. So, everyone should feel valued and feel like they make a valuable contribution. And so to delineate people and say, okay, well, you're talent, but you just have a skill, it's just so I would challenge Ms. Holloway, and say it's not the definition of talent that needs to be challenged, it's the definition of management that needs to be challenged. We manage different levels of talent in a different way. So.
Okay. Rajiv, you might have some perspectives on this.
Well, I agree with the first part of her argument that the word talent is very, very heavily misused. In fact, in Asia, I've been here 2 years now, I find that a lot of people call their people talents. So we have 21,632 talents in our company. I find that a very strange way of depicting. That's your employee headcount, that's not your talents. And I also agree with her that talent, the definition that she says, is a unique ability to do something. That said, I do not agree with the second part of her argument, and I'm with her here, which is every individual has something that they do better than the rest of the things that they do. So if I am to do 20 things in my day job, there are 1 or 2 that I do better than the remaining 18. And the key challenge for management, and I couldn't agree more with the comment just made, is that is management able to give me and all the 12,300, whatever number of employees there are, the chance and the ability to work on those 2 things rather than those 18. Okay.
All right. Okay. Okay.
I tend to agree with Rosie, actually. You know, in a world of, in this world, in afterlife, everybody have a chance to go to heaven. But in real down this world, unfortunately, the world is not fair. You know, only few of us can become CEOs, few of us can become CXOs. Depends how you look at it. If you look from a perspective of what is the added value of the people to the company, everybody has different kind of added value and different talent and skill that can provide value to the company, be it technical, management, clerical, administrative, and so on, right? But if you look from a leadership talent, let's face it. In fact, we have, you know, like most of the companies, we have, by simple definition, we look at existing performance against potential performance. Existing performance, only 15-20% will be the top tier. And then you map it against the potential performance, another 10-15. If you take the intersection, you are left with 5-10%. By definition, there's only few of them left. Now, that's general talent. Then you say, okay, who can be real leaders? Not everyone, even though they have the best subject matter skill, the best performance, best future, some of them are not potential number 1, number 2 top leaders. So now you're left only about 3-5%. So the reality is, this is the real world, it's a tough, unfair world, only 5% left at the end of the day.
Okay.
Right? So I agree with Rosie.
I guess what Dr. Jamal is saying is about leadership talent, I think that he's aiming for, and whereas you guys are looking towards more sort of, you have talent-specific skills and all that. Is there any sort of, sort of management jargon inflation happening in all this? Meaning, you know, in I guess American companies are very well known for having a lot of senior vice presidents and managing directors and all that. Is this jargon of talent part of that job title inflation, or that skill inflation? Skill now becomes talent.
I think you're right. I think, again, we're misusing the word talent immensely. Talent, as Lisa said, is in the ability to do something really, really well. That's talent. That's the gift that every individual has. Your example, the person who's able to churn out fries at peak better than anybody else, that's her special talent. Yeah. So the key is, yes, we are overusing the word talent. Yes, we are misusing the word talent and saying, you know, people are talent. And when we say talent, sometimes we mean leadership talent, sometimes we mean frying skills talent. What is going on here? The key, I think, is, again, what is it that a person is able to do better than other things, and is he or she able to get the opportunity to do that? Okay. If companies can maximize that art, they will create growth for themselves. Okay.
Just one question. Again, I'll just follow one question. I'll put it out to the floor very, very quickly. But just one question is, Sarah, you referred to this a little bit. You can't call one person talent, and you're not, right? So this is actually a question for Dr. Jamal. So, you know, don't you think that those 95% feel somewhat disenfranchised? I'm not a talent, you know. I'm not a talent, so I feel a bit like out of it and out of the group, out of that special group. How do you, don't they feel disenfranchised? Don't their work performance suffer because of that?
There are 2 dimensions, right? One is how we value the employees in terms of the pay we give, the environment that we create, both physical and non-physical environment, and so on and so forth, that we don't differentiate. except performance, right? If you're high performance, we pay you more bonus, more ESOLs, and so on and so forth. If you don't perform, you get less. If you don't perform at all, you are asked to leave. So there's there's real differentiation from that perspective. Out of the top performers, like I said, and out of top and future potential performers, they have been singled out as talent. Now, then the next question is, from a development perspective, all will be developed equally, except those, we have finite resources. Running this business is not about having all the money in the world to do everything to everyone, right? This is real world again. So you have finite resources in terms of attention, focus, money, and all of that. So what do you do with that money? You focus on the first few, the few talent that you talk about, and you develop them faster. You accelerate the development. But you still have a lot of money spent for the rest, because the whole company have to work together to make the company happen, right? But again, because of the finite resources, you have to single out few. Now, do you disenfranchise the rest portion? To some extent, yes. Just like I pay 2 months bonus versus 1 month bonus, the 1 month guy say, I get less. Too bad. Perform well. The one who don't get any bonus or increment, too bad. Just perform. So, I mean, this world, to me, like I said, that's how I look at this world. It's unfair world.